All right, folks, here we go. We've got Ray Francois here on the Trading Nut YouTube channel. We've just done a fantastic podcast. You've got to go and check it out. This guy's got so many different tools and tricks up his sleeve. It's one of these podcasts you've got to go and check out just to find out what they are very different from a lot of the other traders I have on board here. So after you've checked out the trading podcast we did below, make sure you check the rest of this video, or in fact, check this out now because you're here. So Ray, welcome to the show. Let's jump into it. You're going to share with us how to trade with baskets, and also you guys are going to learn a strategy as well. So let's do it. Hey folks, my sponsors City Traders Imperium have just launched some amazing changes to their funded trader program you got to check out. You can now skip the whole evaluation, trade gold as well as Forex, plus they've increased the drawdown you're allowed in both the evaluation and when funded. With C2A, it's even faster and easier to reach up to $4 million in funding with a 50 to 70% profit share. Click the link in the description to find out what else has changed.
Perfect. So I've asked you and we all decided to just do GBP, JPY. If you were to look at the baskets, we're going to be looking at basically when you look at the basket, you're just looking to find what is your strength and weakness within the period of time that you're looking to trade. So let's just utilize the GBP. Right now, this is the basket on the day for the GBP. There has been major wick rejection on top over here, along with a couple of indecisive move. Overall, it looks like it's just consolidating on the day on the GBP. So when you look at it from a daily perspective, you have your perimeters lined up over here like this. These two white lines, I'll just put this as a red. So that's be your resistance, and this white line will be your support, so to say. Let's look at it from 2-hour perspective. So from a 2-hour perspective, you can see it's just been consolidating. I know the market just opened up, but overall, it's just been consolidating within these zones. What I'm looking to do now is to see that if it will continue to go to the downside, or if we can break and retest this direction over here. Overall, it looks like it's might be a possibility. If you look on a lower time frame, probably like the 30-minute or the 15-minute, you might see the push to the upside. Overall, I am looking to see the upward movement to the upside due to the fact that there's been major wick rejection to the downside over here. So there is major strength overall on the GBP. Like right here, when you look at the 1 hour, this is a confirmation. I know there's been a little bit of rejection over here, but if we could get some candles over here that will surpass these close of the seller candles, these two selling candles, if we can push it upward to this upward direction on the 1 hour time frame over here and take out these liquidities over here, that would be a good confirmation that the continuation to the upside for GBP is a good confirmation. So what I'm going to do now is just highlight these areas that I'm going to be looking for as like these areas. It's going to be like the TP zones, so to say. When you look at JPY, these are not necessarily going to be the same. They're not going to be the same at all. So overall, my conclusion is the fact that GBP is going to continue to the upside due to the fact that just basic structure level that we could all we can all come to the decision, the fact that this is just, you know, a floor floor and ceiling, or a support and resistance, if you may, just basic support. But more onto that, for more confirmation, we do have exhaustions on this downward direction over here, bunch of wick, and we do see the upward direction coming to the upside. Now, what I need to do is to confirm that what is JPY doing on a lower time frame as well. Now, when I look on the day on JPY, I'm gonna start clean. You remove the drawing. When you look at the day on the JPY basket, what you're seeing is it's basically a whole bunch of exhaustion, but we're gonna do line up arch as well. This is basically resistance up here, so to say, on the day, and then over here is our floor. So overall, these two lines, the white and red line indicates our floor and ceilings. If you guys are familiar with that, if right here, if price continues to go in the upward direction and it uh, breaks and retested this direction, then the buyers will continue to go to the upside. However, if they can't, this will look down. So I'm looking to sell. Let me just look on the 1 hour to just confirm this. I'm looking to sell JPY for GBP due to the fact that I've come to the conclusion that GBP is a little bit stronger or a lot more stronger than JPY. So if you go back and you type in GBP, JPY, now this is where we come in and we can implement some of the fibs and boxing and price and that good stuff. So once you come to the conclusion or the direction that you want to go, right? When we looked at the overall basket, we were saying that JPY, you can look at it again, the JPY basket was.
Hey, want to trade crypto and gold like the institutions? Well, you can, and it's free for 14 days with Sage Strategies, fully automated trading strategies. Check out their live track records for 25 unique strategies, plus they host everything for you, which is perfect for beginners to advanced traders or investors. Simply sign up for their 14-day free trial today to experience it for yourself.
Was getting tiresome, was weaker than the GBP. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to see where we can get momentum on the GBP side, where we could buy GBP to utilize our trade. For me, when I trade, I always try to trade on the higher time frame to just see the overall market. There's easier things to do where you can utilize to see if you're not good to just utilizing the market or see the charts, you could just the line chart over here to better give you indication on what price is doing. But overall, you could just use a candlestick to just show you guys. But so what I'm going to do is here is we can see over here there's been some really upward direction for the last couple of months over here. So this right here would be our one of our box channel. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, vice versa. So you would just clone this and match it on top here, wherever you can find that fits. Now there's certain rules that applies to this, more in-depth rules. So over here, you can see that this is our channel. When we go into further time frames, like shorter time frames, you'll see more boxed in candles. For example, if you go to the weekly time frame, you'll see that price is a little bit different. However, this was a upward direction as well. I know some people might say, hey, you should use the wick as a indication of confirmation. But my number one thing is as long as the close does not interfere with the trend line, I'm perfectly fine with that. This direction wasn't the best overall move for me to confirm this trend. Let me just hurry up here. So what I'm going to do here is just do this, clone this. Whatever I do to the top, I got to do to the bottom. I clone this, and then what I got to do now is just find the engulfing candle. There's a really good price action. This the indicator is called price action candles. For anybody that has difficulties identifying where a candlestick, how to identify. If you don't know how to identify an engulfing candle properly, you can use this indicator to utilize to help you uh, identify the engulfing candle. So once I do that, right now, all I'm going to do is find out where price is. I'm going to change this color to make it easier for everybody. I'm going to put this as yellow. Um, do this. So overall, what I'm looking for now on a weekly basic, there's no confirmation of either side that I want to go for. However, when I go to a lower time frame, probably the day, what I'm looking for is an engulfing candle that confirms my overall direction of the possibility of where I want to go. Right now, closest um, this is the closest engulfing candle that we have. We also have this one, but there's going to be scenarios where you have one of each to where you're going to have to be biased on the directions that you're picking. So overall, like you can see that it's a good idea to sell versus buy. Although that the basket is stronger, but due to price on a technical, this is just a technical setup. You can see, so when you identify your engulfing candle, what you want to do is you want to do from top to bottom. If it's a sell candle, you want to do from top to bottom to identify the the opening and close. So one thing I will say to this strategy, when you do find your engulfing candle, you do want to use the wick. You want to do from wick to wick of the direction that if it's going. If it's a sell candle, you want to do from point A to point B, or from uh, point A to point B, like I said. So price is at 23 or 38% of this current engulfing candle right now. So I wouldn't want to utilize this trade, but however, I would put a sell limit. I would look to sell over here at this price right here. Excuse me. I would look to sell here due to the fact that this is an engulfing candle. This is a high probability of the fact that price might come back in here and mimic it and do it again. So what I'm saying is price might have a opportunity to just do this again. So we're gonna put this back over here. Price is currently right here. This yellow line right here that you could see where it says entry. Versus entry is where price is at now. So right here, we can see this engulfing candle, this sell engulfing candle right here is the likelihood that this might be the nearest thing that's going to happen. So the same concept that you would do, you would get it from top to bottom because it's a sell candle. You would go from wick to wick. And what you would use is you would utilize this. So where the entry is at our 78% candles. Where it says entry, or where price currently is at our 78%. What we would want to do is we would want to utilize um our entry. We would want to find out where the 20 pip mark is. Once you utilize, I know that says 21, but for rush purposes, we're going to say that this is 21. This is 20 pip. So once you utilize this, I'm going to put this as white so we know this is our TP. Once you utilize this and find out that the white line represents your take profit, you're going to just put TP. So you know, you're going to go back and you're going to utilize the 50% one of your TP. So now you have two TPs. And then last but not least, you're going to use the 23%. These are just the fib levels that I utilize. And then from here, this is the cool thing that I wanted to talk to you about. The ATR. I know. The ATR is awesome. The average true range just represents the overall true range. I'm just going to change the color so you guys can see. I'm going to put this as white to confirm.
Hey guys, ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use these guys, Hanko Trade. Look, it was a no-brainer for me because I was looking for a broker with really good trading conditions and one without any leverage restrictions. Look, also, by joining Hanko Trade, I was able to cut my cost of trading significantly with their super low commission of $1 per 100K. Look, if you want to find out more, check out hankotrade.com or there is a link in the description.
So just like I was telling you earlier, so you can see that the JPY pairs is a little more difficult to move. But in a nutshell, or to simple fact, that overall price has been moved 94 pips. That's just how price been moving. In the last 14 days, it's been moving 94 pips. So when you look at the hour, and the reason you could see that it's been moving 94 pips is just because it's you it just tells you at the last little corner over here. Or even if you go to a different pair, I'll show you. Uh, thing keeps moving, but at the last two digits before the little dot, you can see that over here when I move my mouse, I'll say 94. I'll say 1.094. The 94 represents the overall movement due to the fact that JPY's pip level is a little bit slightly different than other currencies. But when you go to the hour or another time frame that represents a smaller time frame, you can see that it's 90 pip. And the reason why it says 90 pip, it only showing you 4 pips difference is because the market just opened, but it's showing you within the last 14 hours, there's been 4 pip different within the price. So I guess you could put like a 8 pip stop loss, a 10 pip stop loss, simply because of the fact that price is currently at where it's at right now and it's just open. But that would be ridiculous. But I'm saying from a realistic perspective, I can't really give you like actual data on this, but I'll show you how to do this. So I'm just going to get rid of the ATR right now so we can cover that more in depth. So right now, this would be the overall movement of what I would look for this trade would be. I got my entry, my TPs, and my stop loss would be where where a pivot point would be, or where I would utilize my fib again and just utilize and see where I could probably this 50% fib level as well. I could utilize that because there's liquidity and you could see a whole bunch of exhaustion happening in this area. So I would utilize this and put this as my stop loss, and just see how that goes and plays that within the proper risk parameters. Now I would just check to see how my risk to reward looks. It's somewhere around here where it says long trade. This is a short position. So I would look for my short position, which is right here, and I would just utilize everything. This is my entry, and then my TPs all the way down here. You can just see everything. So overall, this is not like it's not a bad trade setup. You can see how much risk to reward that we're risking here. But overall, this is the trade setup that I got going on. That if you look back and you let it play out for a couple hours, you might be surprised. You would be really surprised. Now, to further show you, to clarify on the ATR, this is what I mean on the ATR. Once you identify your engulfing candle and your fib levels and you bring back your ATR, you're going to see that it tells you a certain, it's going to tell you, it's always at default. It's going to be at default for 14. The 14 just represent the amount of candles that it's been implementing. So once you leave it at 14, it's going to tell you, like right now, you see that it's been moving at 800 in the last 14 days. It's been moving 883 pips in the last 14 days. But if you look from an hour perspective, it's totally different. In the last 14 hours, it's been moving 161 pips. So now I would take that into consideration. I would do some math and just be like, okay, so if it's been moving at 883 pips in the last 14 days, how long do I plan on staying on this trade? If I plan on staying for let's say 4 hours or 2 hours within that, I would utilize this parameter. So if I'm staying for like 4 hours or 2 hours or something like that, I'll probably use a 20 pip stop loss or 35 or 40 pip stop loss within the proper parameters. So like, let's say I decided to use a 40 pip stop loss, which is right here. And needless to say that all of these zones are a bunch of wick offs and pen bars to confirm that there is exhaustion in that area. There's a strong resistance there to confirm that that trend is in my favor. So that was just a nutshell of that setup.
Awesome. Well, look, guys, I think there's probably a few little gaps there you might want to fill in and find out a bit more from Ray to really get the nuts and bolts of it. But that's fantastic. I've not seen the basket approach here on the show yet. And also, it's a great way to sort of boxing in that price and an example of what you talked about in the podcast. Now, before we wrap up, what's the best way for the guys to get hold of you?
You guys can reach me on all platform at goldstateofmindllc.com. We have our own platform ourselves that we utilize for traders from A to Z, where we utilize everything. So you guys are more than welcome to go to www.goldstateofmindllc.com.
Awesome. Brilliant. Well, look, guys, do remember we did do a podcast just before this where Ray gives you his full story, tells you a whole bunch of stuff around mindset and a whole bunch of other things as well. So go and check that out. Link underneath the video. Do remember, hit subscribe, hit like, click on that bell, click on all to get notified when future videos like this go live. See you in the next one.